the Ring Fanatics Podcast, episode number 45. I am Nick, your host, and with me, of course, is Joel, my co-host. Of course, as always, before we start, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. Turn on the post notifications bell so you'll know when we post an episode of the podcast. Plus, follow us on all our platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, even on Spotify Green Room. We'll be doing more content on there as well. So follow us wherever you can see us. Today's topic has been a pretty interesting one. News broke out last week, I believe it was. A lot of rumors. Yep. People are saying it's true. I'm personally someone who isn't going to believe it till we see it. But CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are supposedly going over to AEW. It's supposedly
big news.
Big news. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? I know we haven't spoken about that yet until now.
I'm kind of with you on the fence. I'll believe it when I see it. Very excited if it does happen. This would be incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
I do believe CM Punk like in talks to coming back to wrestling. I don't know about AEW though.
Why? Why do you think?
Like I would think more overseas. I would think more like Japan. If he would come back.
That's what I was thinking about Daniel Bryan too. I was thinking might as well go to Japan first, do shit over there.
Yeah.
Then come back to the States.
But as we've seen the last couple of weeks, Japan, Impact, and AEW are working all together, it seems like. So it kind of makes sense that if he signs with one of these companies, he'll get to work in New Japan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hope it's not like a strictly AEW for now type of thing. Yes, it'll be cool, but like again, I think because Daniel Bryan fits the Japan style of wrestling.
Oh, definitely, 100%.
I think it'll be better if he goes over there and just do his thing there, supposedly, and then maybe make his way towards AEW. Maybe he does go to AEW representing New Japan. You know, kind of bring back that Red Dragon type superstar.
Yeah.
Because and then maybe like work a feud there once in a while. Maybe go for a title here and there, and then do that instead of signing full time. Because I don't think he'll sign there full time. Like till, I think he might retire. When he retire wrestling, he might become like a full time family man, which is surprising to me because I thought that was the plan all along ever since he left WWE.
Yeah,
was to just take care of his family, be a family man, which he could still be, but you know, I feel like I don't know.
It's less days. There's no live events.
Yeah.
It's once a week. You know what I mean? It makes sense. It's what he wanted. Less dates to work. All you gotta do is come in once a week, and then for pay-per-views.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't think he'll be a full-time wrestler. I think if he does sign with AEW, it'll be here and there. And again, I think it's all in cahoots with New Japan. I think that's the whole reason why that's why he's looking to go somewhere else. Because as they said, I remember it was a couple months ago, New Japan was in talks with WWE about working together and all this. And now we got Jay White showing up on Impact with Finn Juice. And we got the IWGP US title being defended on AEW. So I don't really think those talks went anywhere. Yeah, Hikuleo, which that dude is nice. That dude's nice. I've seen a couple matches from him. I know him more through Tama Tonga.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Today's night. Wednesday. I'm recording this.
Yes, sir.
So yes, sir. Yeah. Now that's pretty cool. Like
I think that plays a role in if he's signing either at AEW or Impact. Because everybody's talking about AEW, nobody's talking about Impact.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like at least I think Impact might be like a I guess like a kind of like a sneak like a some place that no one expecting people to sign to. I think it'll be an interesting pickup for them if they get one of them, which I highly doubt. But I think Daniel Bryan more of than CM Punk. If anything, I don't see CM Punk returning to wrestling either. I don't know why. I don't think so. I think he's gonna do like more of like if he goes to Impact. Like I said, I don't think it will. he will. But if he goes to Impact, he'll be more of like a management role type thing. I don't think he'll be more of a wrestler there.
Okay.
But AEW most likely. But I don't see him wrestling over at Impact.
Why not?
Um,
You don't
I
think there's like
I
anybody
don't.
over there for
Yeah,
him?
yeah. I think all the dream matches are taking place at AEW. I think that's the place to be at when if he wants to continue and at least make a comeback. Maybe he starts off at Impact and then work his way to AEW. Like he spends like a few short months there. Maybe goes to like Sammy Callahan or Moose, and then just goes over to AEW.
Yeah. But you also got to think about this. Right now, we've been in the partnership of AEW and Impact for a while now, right? I
Yeah,
mean, it's been since December that Winter's Coming happened.
yeah,
Um, and that was the night that Kenny and Callis went away with the belts, and he was like, "I'll see you Tuesday
yeah,
night."
yeah.
So Impact hasn't had a lot going
Maybe
on
he's
their
the
side,
yeah.
right?
Maybe Punk is the one to or Daniel Bryan to take the Impact Championship off of him.
Yes, that's where I was going with Punk. Punk has been in. He was there when it was TNA.
Yeah,
During the early days, he was with Raven's Flock. Makes sense for him to go back if he does end up in Impact. But I think more with Punk, it's not about because a lot of people are all about money. I don't think it's more about money. It's more about
yeah,
what are you gonna do with me?
yeah,
Do you have something planned? And I think it only makes sense if Daniel Bryan is going somewhere, Punk is there because that's the money right there.
yeah,
Punk and Bryan. No matter how old they are, people are always gonna want to see that match happen.
yeah.
It's happened before. It's not like it's the first time ever, but it's been a while since
It's
we've
the
seen
history.
it. You
Yeah,
know what I
it's
mean?
the past. They've written in the past, like where they have a history, like you said, a history together.
It's happened in ROH. It's happened in
Yeah,
WWE. Will it happen in AEW, New Japan, Impact? Where will it
yeah,
happen next?
yeah,
You know what I mean? So I do see him coming back. It's just you got to have the right idea for him because, like we saw when he left because he didn't like the creative. It wasn't
yeah.
about money and he's having issues backstage politically. Probably was, but a lot of the thing was the
Things weren't
way
going his way.
the way creative was going. And I still think this people will say no, but I think the only reason why Daniel Bryan was in the main event of WrestleMania and actually won the title was like kind of a jab to CM Punk to be like, you see, if you wait it out and see what happens, even though he waited all those years already.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I see that.
Because
Question
then
though. Oh, so
what's
go
up?
ahead. No, go ahead.
No, because I was gonna say the Daniel Bryan thing to me was it was a cool moment,
Yeah.
and then they didn't know what to do.
Oh yeah.
Who was his first
Then
title? His first title defense was Kane.
yeah, yeah.
Kane was nowhere near the title picture before Mania. After Mania,
I
he's the
think he
number
was in
one
the kickoff
contender.
show that year. I believe he was in the kickoff show that year, and then all of a sudden he had a title match.
No. He was
Didn't he have like a six
he
man
was
tag because of
yeah,
Shield?
it was him and the New Age Outlaws
Yeah,
taking on
yeah,
the Shield. So
yeah,
he went from that one night to the next night being number one contender. It was just I feel them pleasing Daniel so that he won't leave because if you remember at that time the Indies were wilding. You know
yeah.
what I mean? The Indies were on
How?
fire
Yeah,
at that time. Again, how they are now. It took a little
yeah,
break. Not saying that it was trash or whatever, but it wasn't how it was back then.
yeah,
And now it is. So now this is another time that's like we're hearing the names pop up. It's like, oh, what's gonna happen now? Because now they're both not signed.
I'm surprised he didn't at least come out of. I don't want to say retirement. It's not retirement, but like come back earlier. You know what I mean?
Cool.
That's what the CM Punk.
Cool.
I feel like he would have at least came back to wrestling sooner rather than later. Maybe it was just the right timing. I don't know what the deal was, but like I assumed it was. I think this is the perfect time. Like you said, Daniel Bryan is now going to go
Yes.
somewhere else. I think now it's where the money draws, if anything.
Yeah.
That's where people want
me,
to look at. Look at.
Yeah, because to me, it's like how I've been talking about WWE the last couple of weeks. I'm like, you gotta give me a reason to watch.
Yeah.
Punk is more. You gotta give me a reason to get off this couch and
Yeah.
do something. So
Yeah.
I think Daniel Bryan is a reason. You know what I mean? And the way AEW is going and the way that they're signing people, as just the past couple, maybe 6-7 months, that alone might get him out his seat. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
so, like we talked about, there's so many matches that can happen. Not only just another CM Punk and Bryan match,
Yeah.
but there's a lot that can happen.
Do you think you'll show up at All Out this year? Do you think that's the perfect timing? Would you like wait and like at a
I would
perfect
wait.
really
I would wait. I would wait. Uh, I would have him come out after All Out.
the episode after?
Yes, the episode
Okay.
after, not in Chicago,
It probably isn't. I feel like it's still gonna be in
because
Chicago that
I think
Wednesday
it's
episode.
Wednesday, Friday, All Out in Chicago, and then after that they go back on the road.
Oh, okay. I
Because
thought
I
it was
think
after.
because I
So
think they're hyping up Ohio with is it Ohio?
yes,
Wherever
Cincinnati.
Moxley.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That was one
that's
thing. That was one thing though, because I saw the tweet about that post. I don't know if you caught it because I saw it
what.
all over Twitter. Like the band that sang his theme song in WWE.
Oh, Living Color.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
wrote "Living Color" in the tweet, kind of like hinting at it. They were like,
yeah,
I forgot what the tweet was, but they wrote "Living Color" as like a part of the sentence,
yeah.
kind of hinting at it.
I
So I'm like,
mess with
okay,
it. I mess with
yeah,
it.
they throw out the little hints, kind of like it's
Yeah.
happening, little teases, and it's
Be,
cool.
I just think it's better to do it the week after, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And I'll give you my whole fantasy booking on why.
we'll get
Um,
into that like later with
yeah,
like
we'll get
dream
into it
matches.
later, but I think it's the week after. I don't think he'll show up in Chicago. It's too predictable.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Another question though. I saw this on Twitter also.
What's up?
So back when The Rock returned to WWE 2011, that was
Yep.
like they're comparing CM Punk's return to that, like how The Rock waited 7 years after his last match, came back, did his thing. Do you think CM Punk's 7 year hiatus is a bigger return than The Rock's return, or do you think it's like even, not really?
Might be even for me. It might be. I don't know, because The Rock, we never thought it would happen.
Yeah,
It was like, oh, he's too big for them now.
yeah.
He's never gonna come back. There was always rumblings like, oh, The Rock is gonna come and do another match, but it wasn't like
We have
it's
the
gonna
chance.
happen.
We have the chance at Punk. Literally every single Monday night before the pandemic was CM Punk. Literally all we heard
Yeah.
was CM Punk.
So like now with Punk coming, if he comes back,
Yeah,
I think it'll be maybe the same amount, because we didn't think this was gonna happen. We all
ever.
want to say if he comes out, oh, I knew he would come back.
No, he
Nah,
did. No, he
because
didn't.
I still don't believe it. I'm still one of those people, like you said, I'll see it, like I'll believe it when I see it with Punk. And that's just one of those people that you don't think it's ever gonna happen. So when he comes back, you know it's gonna be um an insane amount of, like, how would I even say that? Like,
The pop would
yeah, the
be
pop,
insane.
the press being all about him. Everything's gonna be CM Punk for like a good couple weeks, just
Yeah,
because of that. And I think it's more because we never thought it would happen. So it's kind of like the same thing as The Rock. But The Rock was always, it was always iffy, because The Rock was still signed under WWE. Like, or after all his movies, it would say executive producer Vince
yeah,
McMahon and WWE Studios. So it was always like he was always under that umbrella. So it was always possible.
yeah,
But Punk is like, we don't know.
yeah. We don't know. We still don't know. I
We
mean,
still don't know.
they
Then
say they're signed, but like they could have you. They said anything? No.
and then when he trolled with his Instagram story, I said, "Oh,
Yeah,
this ain't happening."
it's not happening.
That's why I
Yeah,
was like, now he's just
that's what
listening
I was
to
thinking
himself,
too. Like
and
it's
this
not
is
happening.
definitely not happening.
And then they're throwing these teasers on purpose because they know it's not happening. I think it's like
Yeah,
they're doing this.
and they know that people are watching. They
Yeah,
know people are looking out
they're
for
trying
it.
to make you see if you can catch the hints, like oh,
Yeah,
living color, blah blah blah. But it's pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like I haven't watched this week's episode of BTE being the elite, but I'm pretty sure they've thrown some shade in there with
oh,
CM Punk.
definitely.
Definitely have.
I haven't watched the newest one,
Yeah, me either.
but I'm sure they did.
Yeah,
I'm
and I'm
sure
pretty
they do.
sure we're gonna hear tons of CM Punk chants tonight on AEW when it happens. I'm we're gonna see
Yeah.
a whole bunch of that.
Now, a question for you: who would you be more excited to see? Daniel Bryan pop up or CM Punk?
I would probably say CM Punk, honestly. Like it's intriguing to see where he goes. You know, like we've seen Daniel Bryan. They could easily just put him to a storyline and just it's just like a normal wrestler, like an Malachi Black, Andrade. Just throw him in there and he'll have a feud. But I think it'll be a bigger deal for CM Punk because of his long await of time off. So I think I'll be more
Yeah,
excited to see him. Not like just not because it's in AEW, it's just the fact that I'm seeing him wrestle
he's
again in general.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's back. But I've always been a fan of Daniel Bryan. I mean, like I love Daniel Bryan, so it's like it's just okay. It's cool to see him back, but I know he's not retired or done with wrestling, so I'm not surprised at that. Um, Kind of surprised that he's not staying with WWE. I'll be honest, but like still, I wouldn't be as surprised at CM Punk.
yeah.
I think it's about time we see him back. And it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Like definitely gonna go well. Definitely see who he feuds with. Definitely gonna be like definitely his first feud is definitely with Cody Rhodes for sure. Definitely be against Cody Rhodes. That's the for every time someone debuts against Cody
You
Rhodes.
think that would be the first feud?
No, I mean I think they might. That's what they may go with. Like just to like we talked about, like to draw the money at first. Like, okay,
Yeah,
CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. Um, but honestly, I think the first person he should feud with MJF. I think that's the perfect way to do it.
okay.
If you put a big heel against a returning superstar, returning wrestler, that would be like the biggest, you know, um, way to do it. Like I saw something on social media too, where it's like, oh, it'd be cool if like at All Out you have MJF troll the fans by coming out to his theme song. They kind of like just not like with this, obviously with the pro with the Titantron and everything, but like with this music, it just comes out and then you hear the song,
Yeah,
it's like, oh shit, it's back, he's back, but then it's really just MJF as himself, obviously as himself.
that would be so awesome.
That would get him major heat. One,
I would
um,
even have the band there performing live,
yeah,
living color.
having cover,
Everybody be
yeah.
like, "Yo, what?"
What is
You hear
going
the
on?
music and then MJF just comes out. His entire trunk just starts hitting. You're like,
Yeah, like
"What?"
what? And then maybe like right after that, like CM Punk actually comes out and like, yo, why are you teasing the fans? Like, what the hell? And that's like kind of start the feud going.
Okay,
Um, like I think he's also a guy to help. You know, like he's been feuding with Jericho in the inner circle. Um, you know, it's helped him even though he's lost at Double Nothing. He's taking the pinfall. It's does not going to hurt him at all. So if he does feud with Punk, takes a loss here and there, wouldn't matter to him.
it's
It's
not gonna
MJF.
hurt him.
Yeah.
Not gonna hurt him.
As long as he has a great storyline with it, then yeah, it's going well.
I wouldn't even. I wouldn't even put Punk with MJF.
Who would you put him with?
I would Kenny
At first?
to
Really?
open it out. Yup,
With it,
definitely.
with or without the title?
No, without
Okay, yeah, maybe, yeah. All right.
Omega's. He's losing that all out. That's why I said you start the week after, and then you have
Yeah,
him in the
makes sense.
ring. Oh, I was screwed. Whatever he wants to say, and Punk comes out, says you're the best in the world, but you lost your title. Eh, to add on to that, you lost it to this alcoholic because the straight edge part.
I did
How are
not think of
you
this
the
part.
best in the world? And
Yeah,
you've never even faced me. So how are you calling yourself the best in the world? And then that's how you start the feud. I don't put any, whether Punk or Bryan comes back, I don't put any of them in title pictures at
yeah.
first.
Oh, of course. That's too soon. I think you gotta
But you put
pan.
them with big names like a MJF or Omega and have them work with them.
Yeah. So I think play it off like you said, just not with title feuds. I think that's too soon.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, I mean, there's so many people there already that they can go up against.
Oh, I can't wait for
Like,
I would love Daniel Bryan Jungle Boy.
oh yes, yes.
There's so
Darby Allin versus CM Punk.
there's just so
Yeah,
many
it's the
matches that could
yeah
happen. You know what I mean? And who knows what like how it's gonna play out.
yeah. I think it's
Because
yeah
Because my brother told me, he said, "What if they just put them as a tag team?"
I don't think so. It's
You
not. It's
never
not the way
know,
to go.
man. You never know.
I don't think so. I don't think they're. I mean, it'll be cool, yes, because I know
You
they've
don't
worked.
think that you don't think that's the way to go? Two vets coming in and saying, "All you young guys think that you're the shit right now."
I mean, yeah, along the
Hey,
line, yes,
give me a title change at Arthur Ashe, right? Give me a title change at
yes,
Arthur Ashe with PMP winning, right?
yeah.
Baby faces. What messes up that moment? What's the most heelish thing that could happen? Somebody ruining that. Two ex WWE guys jumping into the ring, saying they're the best in the world. I don't know what this crap is. You can have them just trash the whole company as a whole.
Yeah.
Kind of do not the whole NWO shit, but kind of like the outsider thing. Been like, yo, we came here to show y'all really ain't shit. Like, you know what I mean? Basically.
Would you start a faction with them, or just like a straight up tag
Nah,
team?
straight up tag team. I think that would be if you want to go that route, if you want to be different and not have them do the big single, oh, it's Bryan Danielson or whatever he's gonna call himself, and CM Punk separately. You know what I mean? It will
Yeah.
maybe you start them out like that. I think it would be dope. Who wouldn't want to see Revival versus Daniel Bryan CM Punk? Who doesn't
Oh,
want to see PMP versus uh Daniel Bryan Punk?
yeah, that is true.
There's so many tag teams out there that you would be like, I kind of want to see them go against them.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Because
something. Yeah, yeah, because I
Young
feel
Bucks versus Punk and
that's what
Bryan.
I was gonna spring up. Young Bucks should be the great match to see. I think
Yeah.
that's gonna happen eventually. I don't think they're
Lucha
gonna start
Bros.
off. Oh hell yeah,
Yo, there's so many
hell
you
yeah,
could do. So it's I wouldn't even put that out. I wouldn't even say, oh, don't do a tag team because there's a lot of opportunity there. Plus, they're both older guys who know how much Punk has been training lately.
yeah.
And also Brian's up there. Like, yeah, he still goes.
It would be also cool if AJ Lee came back too. If she did her thing.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I think that one's more of a never gonna happen.
Yeah.
I think personally.
Like I was a big fan of hers too. I mean,
Oh no, of
she
course.
just left randomly, but I'm pretty
She
sure I know the reason
was
why.
she was the kickoff of the women's
That's
revolution.
yeah, I was gonna bring that
Everybody
up.
wants to say Paige,
It was both.
but
It was both. It was
AJ
she
Lee
helped.
kicked
Yeah,
ass.
she did. She
Come
did.
on.
She was a huge part in most of the male storylines. She was with the CM Punk storylines, the John Cena storylines, Daniel Bryan's, Kane's,
Cause
Dolph
she
Ziggler.
because she showed she could do both. She
Yeah,
showed that she could act and be in the crazy girl
yeah,
storylines, but also kill it in the ring when she needed to.
yeah,
And
exactly.
that kind of showed that was like, okay, women aren't just in storylines just to be in storylines. She can actually go in the ring. And then she won
She
the
got
title and she did all that stuff and taking the pin for Paige so Paige
yeah.
could win the title. It was, you know what I mean? It's,
It was really that era that kind of brought me back to watching and getting like not like getting more invested, but like getting hyped up more with the women's evolution.
yeah,
If she didn't
definitely.
leave, she would have been a part of that eventually. She
Definitely.
would have been a part of that. But
She she even had that storyline that was her and Paige versus the Total Divas when that
yeah,
show started. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So she was a major point of that. I think her and Paige kind of kicked it off. I think more her though.
yeah,
Even
yeah. I
though
was
people
gonna.
will say, "Oh, Paige, the Bellas, Natalia," everybody wants to keep AJ Lee off that list.
I know
She's
they're
right
trying to
there.
forget. Yeah, she's right there.
She's
People try
right
to forget
there.
about. They're trying to make us forget about her, but it's
Oh,
like
they'll try their best.
they'll try. Yeah, exactly. Like I
Because
don't.
again, because and then people will argue with you because who's the worst fan base in the world is wrestling fans, and they'll be like, "Oh, but was she even that good?" You know
Yeah,
what? Maybe she wasn't the best wrestler in the world, but she was entertaining, right? You
yeah.
liked her matches. You had good matches. Cool. That's all that really matters.
And that
You
it
can
kicked it off from
be,
there. It literally kicked it off.
yeah.
If it weren't
It's
for those
so,
moments, that Becky, Charlotte, Sasha wouldn't have been called up probably. Literally, who knows? It may
yeah.
have
Who
changed because
knows how it
who
would have
knows?
looked?
Yeah, because if she definitely would have been part of that storyline with those call ups, and who knows, maybe one of them probably wouldn't have been called up so soon. Maybe they were planning something
Exactly.
else.
Yeah.
Who knows? So I don't want to say thank God she left because I didn't want her to leave,
No.
but who knows? Like your favorite superstar now may not have been in that moment.
Yeah.
So who knows? Like I think people don't give her a lot of credit, and that kind of gets me tight a little bit. Um,
No, I feel you on that.
yeah, and yeah, so it's like, come on, she did a lot. She did a lot before they even got there. So it's like
Yeah.
it made sense, and it sucks
It,
that Paige is retired as of now, but who knows?
yeah. And then that couple right there just gets shitted on all the time because people
Yeah,
say the same thing about Punk. What did he really do? He was only there for this, and that. All he did was complain. Yeah, but to be honest,
he put
CM,
on the best work
CM,
in the times.
yeah, CM Punk leaving might have been the best thing to happen to WWE.
Why would you
And
say that?
I'll tell you why. Because if CM Punk didn't leave, would we get Daniel Bryan winning the title? Would we get AJ getting signed? Would we get all these little, not little guys, but like smaller guys getting chances at the title?
Yeah,
He was really one of the first guys, other than Rey Mysterio. And I'll say it, I said it once, I'll say it again. Rey Mysterio only got the title because Eddie Guerrero died. If it wasn't for Eddie passing, Rey Mysterio would have never been near that title. Because a lot of people be like, oh, he started off the small guy trend. Nah, it was really Punk. And Punk wasn't even that small. It was just that he wasn't the biggest guy, the buffest guy, but he killed it.
yeah.
Oh, yo, pause real quick. My fault.
So yeah, that was your hot take of this episode. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah,
So tell me not. Tell me
yeah. I
not.
mean, yeah. I mean, Punk. That is true. I mean, didn't Daniel? Also around the same time, Daniel Bryan had won it. I think it was 2012, 2013. Wait, didn't?
When Ray first won, it was '06. It was
Yeah, yeah.
'06.
But around the time CM Punk was getting that push, like ever since
Yeah.
and then I didn't. I also remember Jeff Hardy was also a small champion too. Like I remember when he won it back in '08, it was like okay, it was a big deal because it wasn't like a big guy.
Yeah.
Not like
But
not like
it was more of years of building him up though.
yeah, yeah, that is
You know what
true.
I mean?
Yeah,
Punk came in, won the ECW title, got moved up, won Money in the Bank, cashed in, and was like, okay, not
twice.
really doing a lot. Yeah, didn't really do a lot with the two cash-ins. But then when he won it, that was at his final time. I'm trying to think, was
Yeah,
that the Summer of Punk? Was that his final time in WWE?
I believe so.
What Money in the Bank? What was that? 12, right? 12 or 11?
Um,
I'm messing up
I
my
think it was
days
2012.
right
Yeah, I
now.
believe it was 20 because 2011 was when he was in with the Nexus feuding with Orton and stuff like
Oh man, yeah,
that. Yeah,
that was a time to be alive. Yeah, it was 2011 that it was for the title. Okay, so yeah, 2011 that really kicked off. I think the small champion. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
around that
you
time.
had
Yeah,
Rey Mysterio, like you said, Jeff Hardy, but that was more of years of building him up.
yeah,
Punk wasn't there for 10 years. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So it was kind of like, oh, okay, we're gonna go with this guy. Nice. He was kind of like the I won't say the first guy, but like the first guy that was like well known that wasn't in WWE. You know what I mean? He
yeah,
was one of the guys that came from the indies. It was like, whoa, this guy came in and won a title.
yeah.
It was a big deal.
And yeah, like because you mentioned that too, like how like AJ Styles just came through, won it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like
came
people,
through, debuted on the main roster like
yeah,
nothing.
straight up, and then just one title. Like less than a few months later, I was like right after Mania, he won it.
Yeah.
And then
I think he won
it's,
it like that October or something like that.
yeah, yeah. One of the things that I was gonna mention up is like people said like they were surprised that AJ Styles showed up, like as if WWE wasn't giving out clear signs on that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like one of the things that I noticed, like I kind of found strange, was with AJ Lee, they added her last name. Like she was always known as AJ, and not AJ Style, not AJ Lee. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Until like right around the time she left, they added the last name to her. Like, you
No,
know what
I
I
feel
mean?
like she was always Lee. I feel like she
Nah,
was
she
always.
she she was just AJ. That's all she was
Why?
known
Well, I know when
known
she
for.
was doing the manager role, it was more just, oh, that's AJ.
Yeah, and
And
then
then I
towards the
think it was
end, it
more
was
when,
permanent.
yeah,
Towards the end, it was permanently AJ Lee, and then
yeah.
all of, that's what kind of got me confused. I'm like, why the hell did they add the last name in? And it kind of made sense. Like, oh, they're planning for AJ Styles, the same name. So like, might as well add the last name so we can avoid the confusion.
Oh shit, I never even thought of that.
Yeah. So like, that's what I was thinking. Like,
They had that shit just in case.
yeah, it's like, oh, it's add the last name. Like, it's AJ. It's like AJ
Who knows
Styles or
if we
AJ
ever
Lee.
get another AJ?
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? Who knows? They probably just shorten somebody's name if they ever come across another AJ. They love
Yo,
doing that
you
shit.
can't go as AJ. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you can't go as AJ. It's already trademarked. Sorry, but yeah, yeah. So what we were talking about, small champions. Yeah. So
Yeah, so
I think
I think Punk kicked it off, and
yeah,
I think again, like I said, if Punk would have not left, WWE would have not had the reaction to the Bryan thing. Because
yeah.
yeah, the internet was going crazy for him, but I think it was more of just like, just stick it to this guy. If we make this other guy a champion,
Like it's crazy because CM Punk's not even like he's still kind of young. He's like in his early 40s, so he still has
yeah,
some time before he like officially calls it quits with wrestling.
yeah, I think he's
So
like 41,
yeah, like
right?
41, 42 ish. And
I gotta
Daniel
see.
Bryan, I believe, is like
Look,
40. I think he just hit 40. So I
he
think
is. I'm looking up right now. CM Punk is okay. Well, we just got a whole bunch of. Then 42. Okay,
yeah, 42. So he's still young. He's
that's
still
around
got it.
Bobby Fish.
He's younger than yeah, he's younger than Bobby. He's younger than Bobby Lashley. He's younger than Dustin Rhodes, than Christian Cage. He's younger than all these guys. Are still going. Even Chris
Jericho.
Jericho, yeah, Jericho, Chris Jericho. He's younger than.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think
AJ
about.
Styles.
Yeah,
He's only 2 years younger than him, I think, because I think
it's
AJ is like
insane.
44.
Like
So he's
imagine,
still young.
imagine if he didn't leave. Like imagine these past 7 years, what he would have done. Like who knows?
Now
It's
that's a great question.
question. Yeah, what
What
would have
if?
been done? Yeah,
What
what
if?
if? And what can he do in AEW? Who knows? Is he going to be a multi-time AEW World Champion? Is he going to go after like a TNT Championship, a tag team champ? Who knows? That's the question. What can he do in AEW or elsewhere? I think
Yeah.
he'll be on. I think he'll be on that contract, kind of like Moxley. Like he can go to New Japan and work there.
And I think that's exactly why Daniel Bryan is even,
Yeah, Daniel
because I
Bryan
don't
said,
know
yeah,
if he's signed, but they
yeah,
even said he was considering it. But that's because of that multiple places to work.
yeah.
You're not just stuck with this one company. You're
But
not
then
just
that
stuck in
also
this one
raises the
place.
question. That also raises the question, though, like, would he want to go to Japan now and leave his family behind? Because he is like, I feel like he is a family man. I don't think he would want to leave them. I think, like you said before, 1 day a week, that's just
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, but Japan's not. It's not crazy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
if he's just doing one-offs here and there, like at a big show, you know what I mean? Oh, he'll
yeah.
be at Wrestle Kingdom. Oh, he'll be at, you know what I mean? Like,
He probably win like the
and if and it,
IWGP or do stuff over like at what's it called, New Japan Strong.
yeah,
That they're doing in the U.S. Probably do that stuff over there.
but I think it just makes sense. And for him to go to um Japan anyway, like you said, leaving his family and stuff. I think there's only like, I think the tour, because I was watching an interview with the Bucks. I think they were like, oh, it's 3 weeks, so 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. It like all depends when
Yeah,
you go.
I
So he's
read
not
their
gonna
book
be there
too.
full time.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I
I
mean?
read their book too, the Young Bucks book, and it's like
Yeah.
they spent like months at a time in Japan for New Japan. So it's like they had
But
to leave a
also
few
they were
months.
top stars. They were in the Bullet Club. They were a
Yeah, yeah, that
big
is true.
point of New Japan. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
were a big part of that company.
yeah. But then
So,
also a hot free agent, you would probably want them there for a while as well.
but who
Like,
knows? Look at what Jericho did.
yeah,
He was
because
there here and there.
that's
He
the
wasn't
thing.
there
I think
every show.
speaking of that New Japan partnership, I think that was like speaking of that, that kind of reminded me also of like how when Chris Jericho not first left, but recently left WWE. He wanted the partnership to happen.
Yeah.
It was his idea. It literally all started. I mean, it's years later, but like it's still,
Jericho's the GOAT.
yeah, he wanted it to happen because
Yeah.
I believe he was I remember him saying like he was he wanted to work both places, like work in New Japan, but also still come back to WWE when he wasn't in Japan.
Yeah.
and then do the stuff there. And then once he won the IWGP Intercontinental Champion, he wanted to have like a because around the time when he left and when he won the title, Seth Rollins was the Intercontinental Champion in WWE. So he wanted a match. He pitched to Vince like he wanted a match against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, title versus title, New Japan title
Yep.
versus WWE title. The Intercontinental Championships, not the main titles, but that was the match he pitched. But then he turned it down, and then he ended up meeting the Young Bucks, the Elite, and then that's how it all came about with AEW. So imagine
Well,
if like he didn't meet the Bucks and
yeah,
didn't get that, and he granted that title match, it probably would have happened sooner than we thought.
that is true. That would have been something if we would have gotten Jericho with the New Japan belt in a WWE show, or vice versa.
It would have been cooler if they had like a New Japan versus WWE Survivor Series match ups. Like they had, their IWGP US Championship versus the United States Championship in WWE, and they got the IC title and the IC title. I know they don't have a women's championship, but you can still do Raw versus SmackDown Women's Championship and kind of do like a cross promotion type thing,
Yeah.
and that would have been cool.
Well,
Um,
that was a big thing back then too. With Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan's been trying to fight this for a while. I think it was back uh WrestleMania 31. I want to say it was all the way back then
yeah,
that he wanted to do an interpromotional match, and
yeah,
again with the IC title with New Japan. And he was like, "Why don't you send me over there, or you bring them over here?" And think of the match that would have been, because who was the IC title at the time in New Japan?
Jericho wasn't. Wait, who?
No,
What time?
when
35.
this
There was
was
31.
this was
2015.
WrestleMania 31.
2015. Who was
Who was still in Japan, killing it?
Omega?
Nakamura.
Oh,
And
oh yeah,
I think him pitching that was how WWE found Nakamura, because I feel like Vince doesn't look at wrestling outside of WWE.
no, definitely doesn't even look at his own product.
So the
doesn't
only, and I
doesn't look
think
at his own
people were
product.
probably telling him, "Yo, check out this guy from Japan." Blah 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 blah. But when one of your champions comes to you and says, "Listen, I want to fight this guy from another company," what are you gonna do? Look up the guy, and then guess what? He debuted the night before WrestleMania 32 at Takeover. How's that possible? Because Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, so like everybody wants to do those inter-promotion matches because it makes money and it makes wrestling interesting and fun. That's why it's cool having wrestlers show up on different brands. You know what I mean? Even in WWE, when somebody shows up on NXT, and like when Joe came out, you know what I mean? It was like,
yeah,
whoa. Or like even when somebody from like when the Good Brothers came out for the first time on AEW, it was like, oh, whoa, this is, oh, so we're going with this. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's fun, it's interesting. So even WWE guys want to do that.
yeah. I mean, yeah. So like, if you were to have like Daniel Bryan or CM Punk go to New Japan, like, would you have them like represent like New Japan this feud in this triple promotion feud type of thing, or would you have them go to AEW and have them be part of their brand? Like, if and then let me ask you this though, different question.
So
Uh, who in New Japan would you want to see Daniel Bryan and CM Punk go up against?
mm,
There's probably like
well,
a
there's
short amount of names you can choose from, but
nah, I feel like there's a bunch of names you could pick from, because you got Okada, of course. You know what I mean? That's the
yeah,
number one for everybody. Or even Naito. You got Jeff Cobb,
Jay White,
Jay White, Osprey when he comes back.
Osprey. Yeah, I was gonna say
You know what I
Osprey.
mean?
Yeah,
There's many matches. Takahashi, Sonata. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
there's a lot of guys over there that we've never seen them um fight, or if we have, that was back in the day when they were all younger and nobody was really
Imagine,
developed the
imagine
way
if
they were.
imagine if one of them took over Bullet Club. That would be huge.
I would see more Punk, but
Yeah,
I think I think the way Bullet Club is going right now, I think they shouldn't touch it. Bullet Club right now, even though people aren't as invested as they were when the Bucks were in there, I think Bullet Club right now
It's different.
is
Not the same.
it's not the same in America, but they're still killing it in
Yeah.
New Japan. You know what I mean? It's just that
I
they
think
don't.
the pandemic kind of slowed it down because they haven't really done much in the States, anyways. So it's
Yeah,
like Ring of Honor, they couldn't do stuff at Ring of Honor, doing partnerships with them still, or just going over there. You know what I mean? It's like it was all in Japan stuff the past year and a half
yeah,
or so. So it was like we rarely heard of them.
but that's also what helps. That's what helps New Japan because now your Bullet Club isn't just full of American guys.
Yeah,
It's a mix.
yeah.
Yeah, Jay White's your top guy. Then you got the tag team of oh man, I forgot what they call them. Gorilla Army? Is it Gorilla Army?
Gorilla that who Tangaloa and
Yeah,
Gorillas of Destiny.
Gorillas of Destiny. That's what it is. Yeah, so you got everybody from different places. And you got a couple of Japan guys.
Like, and I know you mentioned like a tag, like CM Punk before, and Dan Bryan team as a tag team. I don't see that happening. I don't think they'll like have a dream tag team. Maybe like I said before, I think it's gonna be better off to do like a one time few storyline with them as a tag team. I don't see them
Yeah,
as a
why
permanent
not?
tag team. I don't see them as a permanent tag team. I think
No, not
Punk's
permanent. Not like
or even starting off. I don't even see them starting off as a tag team. Like, I think that's like a not a good idea. If
no.
anything, try to go separate ways because I don't think CM Punk is a tag team guy. I don't think he works as a tag team.
I don't know, man. I
I
don't
wouldn't enjoy
know.
that.
I'm telling you, hasn't been in the ring a lot. What's the best way to get him off of his ring rust, and especially
I
in
mean,
front of a
Christian
crowd?
Cage and Edge haven't done it. They just went straight for it after a couple of years. 9 years for Edge.
Yeah, nobody cares about Christian in WWE. Everybody cares about him
No, like in
outside of
AEW.
WWE.
Yeah, that's it. I'm saying like I don't think he didn't jump right into the tag team mix. He
Oh
did
no,
like own.
because he's a singles guy.
Yeah,
But
so
that's
it's
what I'm
Punk.
saying with Punk and Bryan is different because they have this whole history together and how they're boys and stuff like that, that you could actually put them together. And they're two of the guys that when you say who's the best wrestlers in the world, they're always one of the top five that you're gonna say.
Yeah,
And it's crazy that Punk is still in that conversation without wrestling a match in 7 years.
yeah.
Because I still say today, even though people don't want to admit it, Punk was lit. Punk was
He was.
maybe
He was.
he was the best in the world at that time. It was him, Bryan, AJ, and I still have that list. Punk goes down every time, but it's because he hasn't wrestled in a while.
Yeah,
Now, if he
but I
comes
think he
back
still
and
has
kills
it.
shit,
Yeah,
oh, I think so too.
yeah.
I definitely think he does.
I don't think he lost his edge either. Like I think he's still gonna come back, just as big as he was. Just
Bro,
literally
they've been
pick
chanting,
up.
bro. They've been chanting CM Punk for 7 years.
Exactly
Come on,
7 years.
come on.
I wonder what that reaction is gonna be like when like is WWE fans still gonna chant CM Punk's name? Probably will, but who knows?
Oh,
They chant AEW and WWE shows. That's
yeah. It's
even
more of
chant.
telling they chant CM Punk at WWE shows. That's more of telling you hold the L because wow,
Yeah.
like you let that one go and you let him resign somewhere 7 years later.
Later, exactly. And he doesn't even want to go back to your company, even
Yeah,
though he did technically work for Backstage, the Fox show they had.
he worked for
But
Fox. He
yeah,
was
but
under a Fox
it was a
contract.
WWE show. It was for
Oh
WWE.
yeah, it was for WWE, but
Yeah,
his contract said
Fox.
Fox.
Yeah,
His check was coming from Fox.
yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that it sucks that it ended. I actually like that show. I watched it a lot, but
Yeah, they did
anyways,
Renee foul in every show she tried to do. So I'm not
yeah,
even.
that's even the worst part.
That's a whole episode by itself, just Renee.
Yeah,
How they did her
let's
dirty.
make that
I could write a
a future
book.
episode. Yeah,
I
let's
could
write a
write a
book. Let's write a
book
book.
because wow, it went from backstage to Raw Talk to
Commentating to
everything she tried to do. She even had that show on the network for a little bit,
she did.
Unfiltered,
Oh
Unfiltered.
yeah,
That she did a show and Corey Graves had a show, which they were both dope shows. Corey
yeah.
Graves' show was I liked it more because it was more of just
Storytelling type thing.
yeah, it was like
The tattoo one,
the
the tattoo.
tattoo one,
Yeah,
yeah. So it was like that. So I found that more interesting than the Unfiltered, but she was still killing it. It was still a dope show, and they say, you know what, we're not doing this no more.
yeah. I
They
mean,
just kept doing her foul, man.
yeah, I mean, they did a lot with her. Did a lot with her and couldn't even get anything done.
Nothing.
Sucks. Um. So yeah. How excited from you from 1 to 10? If it happens, how excited would you be from 1 to 10 to see either one of them show up in AEW? 10,
Eh,
10,
12,
12. Ooh,
12,000,
you broke the scale. Okay.
12,000.
12,000.
Because
12,000.
wow, like I said, we never thought it could happen. We never thought Bryan would leave if he does. We never thought CM Punk would come back if he does. It's just a bunch of stuff we never thought would happen.
Yeah.
So I think it'll just be one of those things that it's like we don't really care what happens. We just want to see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
Because of course people would be like, oh, they should just went back to WWE because they're
No.
booking. If they lose one match,
Exactly. That's what I'm fucking saying. I tweeted that the other day on my personal. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, God
bro,
forbid they lose one match. It's like it's the end of the career already. Like,
even though Keith Lee's getting treated like shit.
I mean, he has 2 matches. It was
ever
2
since
matches.
he got called up, Goldberg has fucking ruined his nights twice.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, those 2 nights, yeah. But like, still, I don't think it's. I don't think it's that big.
But it's just like the Karen Cross thing. It's like
it's one match.
Vince is like, guess what? I don't give a fuck what you doing on the other show. You ain't on this show. Yeah, so you're gonna lose to Jeff Hardy on a roll up, even though Hardy has a 10-week losing streak on Raw. It's all right.
Yeah,
that was a tough one though. The Cross one, because that
one
was tough though. That one was tough though, bro. You gotta admit that. You spent months building up this guy as a monster, beating Gargano, Cole,
and
Tommaso, O'Reilly, all your big top guys, and he loses on a fucking roll up to someone. I love Jeff Hardy. I love him. That's my guy. That's one of my favorite wrestlers ever. But to have him lose to Jeff Hardy on a roll up
is insane, man.
Is ridiculous after the way you built this guy up. And I get it. I get it. People don't watch NXT. You want to introduce him. That's not the way to introduce him.
Yeah, clearly he doesn't watch his own product. Like literally, he does not watch his own product. Well, do you think he tunes into every Tuesday night at USA? No,
but that was that was a shot at not only NXT but at Triple H. That was like, I don't care what you're doing over there. You could keep telling me about your boys to call them up. But guess what? This is my show, homie. Yeah, my show. Yeah, and whatever I say goes.
And it sucks to like that explains like Johnny Gargano's thing. It's like all those guys who's worked with Karrion Kross this past couple of months, all build him up. Yeah, they literally helped him, and then you
spit on all of them in all of their faces.
All theirs, like seriously, man, that's annoying.
Because it's not even about the loss. It's just you built him up and you had him lose. I get it. It makes him still look strong on a roll up, but it's not a way to introduce.
And not even to bring
like,
Scarlett.
It was his first night. Like I understand if you do this third, fourth match, you let the crowd know who he is, and then a roll up, and then you're like, oh, Jeff Hardy stole one. It was his first match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I see people who are mad about the Karrion Kross, because I was mad too. I was like, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah. It's like it didn't even bring Scarlett with him. That was even the bigger issue. It's like, why would you not bring the because like it's basically what Adam Cole said when he had that promo against him. It's like they give you an entrance, they give you a girl or whatever. And not to shit on Karrion Kross, but like Adam Cole was basically right. You know what I mean? Without the entrance, without Scarlett, he's basically like, okay. You know, he's just gonna be another big guy.
I like Kross.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to shit on him, but like it's just like, you know, it's Adam Cole, he literally changed his whole gimmick and it would still be just as good as he always has been and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But when Karrion Kross changed one simple thing and it's like, oh, it's not the same. And like it's kind of I look back on that. I'm like, okay, I guess he's right on that. It's like,
but it's the same thing with everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Right now, NXT is in an arena that fits like an indie crowd, so it's a small arena. You can do the fancy entrances and stuff like that, and the great camera work. But in a big ass arena, it's not gonna work. You gotta figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to think of an example that would that would work here of like an indie guy. I'm trying to think.
Okay, Cody Rhodes' entrance is like a whole like fucking process. Like his
Well,
entrances take
I like
longer
his
than his
entrance.
matches.
I
I know,
like
but it
his
takes
entrance.
mad. His
I like
matches feel
the.
like longer than his matches.
I feel the whole beginning. I think he should just use that during pay per views, during big matches.
Yeah,
I
but
think
then
you could
on
just cut
Dynamite,
to the
it's like,
song.
yeah,
Yeah, I think you could just cut to the song on Dynamite.
yeah.
But there's certain people like that. That's like
The
it works
entrances
for a
gotta
big
cut down a
crowd.
little bit.
If
Yeah,
you do that at indie shows, kind of like, yo, where's this guy at? Is he coming out yet? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's kind of like the opposite.
yeah, for real.
But yeah, Cross that was bad.
Yeah,
That was bad.
that was. I didn't want to end it off on a negative note, but
Nah,
hey,
no, because we're gonna talk about
yeah,
this to end it off. Um, we talked about you saying MJF being the first guy for Punk,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Who would you put Daniel Bryan
Ooh,
to debut against?
I was thinking Omega for Bryan. Um, kind of like I think Omega would be a great opponent for him. I feel like they would have awesome matches together. I think they're kind of the same style of wrestling. Um, because that's like I mean, I kind of like the way you put it, but it's like the best in the world, whatever, and it kind of fits well with it. But with for CM Punk, but I think for Daniel Bryan, I would say him. But if not him, I'd probably choose because they're definitely gonna give someone like either him or a Pac. A Pac. I think that would be an awesome match. Daniel Bryan versus Pac.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say have him debut with just put him in an angle with Death Triangle.
Yeah.
I think that would be dope. Like against either of them.
Oh
Those
hell
are
yeah.
just
Hell
three
yeah.
matches I want to see.
Maybe you have a CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Maybe that's the team they go up against. You know, like CM Punk versus Lucha Brothers or just Dead Triangle 2-on-3.
CM Punk and Bryan versus Lucha Bro. Sign me up.
Hell yeah.
Sign me up.
I'll be there.
100%.
I'll be in that city within that city's
I
taking
will
place in.
fly to wherever
Yeah,
that show
yeah.
is.
I'll sell
I'm
my New
going
York
to
tickets.
it. I'm going to it.
Like I'll sell my New York tickets to get the flights. And everything.
Facts.
Yeah.
But like, yo, we out of here.
Yeah.
But I think, but I'm whatever happens, man. If they show up, it's just gonna
It
be
could
incredible.
it could happen tonight when we're recording this. The night we're recording this.
Who knows?
It can be any time. Literally, they've done it in the past. Literally, just
Yeah.
random show up at any point in time.
Even though I think these are two guys that are big enough that you would hold off.
Yeah, I think exactly. Wait for they can't rush this. It's not something you rush.
Let all the all out storylines finish,
Yeah, yeah,
and then that's when you could bring them in. Because of
Yeah.
course that's your biggest show. You would like if they're signed, you would like for them to be on it. But if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, if
Don't just throw them in a match.
because the CM Punk makes sense because he's from Chicago, but like again, it's like you don't want to just like
And
have
you don't
him
want to be too predictable.
Yeah, yeah.
And just be, oh, we're in Chicago, so we're gonna have Punk come out.
Yeah.
It can make sense.
Yeah.
Don't
so
do
I
it
think
just to please.
I think they'll make it fine. I think they'll just have him debut whenever they're ready.
Yo, yeah, and
They'll be fine with it.
I trust AEW. Right now, they've shown me I can trust them. You know what I mean, with wrestlers debuting and how they're treated. Because I've seen a lot of people complain about Christian. I'm fine with what Christian's doing.
He's doing just fine.
It's entertaining. He's putting on good matches. He's doing this stuff with Hardy.
It's
not the title, but guess what? Who cares?
Who cares?
You know
he's doing his thing. He just wants to wrestle. I don't think he's looking to collect belts.
Yeah, not every storyline has to be a title, and I think that's what's kind of missing with WWE right now. You're not in a storyline unless it's for a title.
Yeah,
in my opinion, because even like the tag teams, you need the title. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they're all connected, all the storylines. As we see the tag champs going against or the tag champs teaming with somebody who's going for the belt. Like when we saw the Mysterios tagging with Edge, you gotta tie it in. You don't always have to tie it in.
Yeah.
You gotta have everybody have their own storyline. That's why even the smallest storylines. Like we got the Team Taz breaking up. We got the Inner Circle going against the Pinnacle. But then you also have the storylines in there when you have Warlord and Hager, and you got Revival going against PMP, and
Yeah.
they've had an easy life. They've been fighting for everything, but then you also
Yeah.
have Jericho fighting MGF, but he's also going all.
First of
There's a
all,
lot going on. Everybody has a storyline there.
yeah, Nick Gage, by the way. Holy shit.
Wow,
I
wow!
I
I was
don't
not expecting that.
I kind of did as soon as he said like when as soon as he was describing it, I'm like, yo, Nick Gage is
Oh
coming
yeah,
out.
when he
Yeah, I
started
was like, it's Nick
describing it,
Gage.
and once he said Rob the Bank once without a
Yeah.
mask, I said, "There we go, there we go."
Yeah, I was like without a mask. I'm like, oh, Nick
What a
Gage,
guy!
he's here.
That's my guy right
I
there.
can't see. I can't wait to see what that match is happening. I can't. It's tonight, but like I can't wait to see that. Oh my
But
god.
did you see the match this past weekend?
Yes, I did see. I saw parts of it. I didn't see the whole entire match, but I'm like, okay, I saw it.
The match was great. Lot of
Let's
heat,
go.
and I
Oh hell
love
yeah.
it. I
He's
love
getting
it.
tons of heat. He's still
And
is.
what I like is that like everybody that's reporting on it is like, oh, the GCW fans are just disrespectful. Da 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 da.
I
They're
guess
in on it.
that's what.
They're in
Yeah.
on it. That's the
That's
fun of it.
yeah. That's the point of it. They're
You
all
know
throwing.
this guy is talking shit to you, but you know it's part of a story. You're in on it, and that's why you
Yeah.
don't like the guy. You're not gonna really beat him up. It's
Exactly.
not like back in the day where they would wait for wrestlers in
They're
parking
yeah.
lots and
It's
try to
yeah.
fight them.
And it's not like they're throwing the chair like the chairs. They're
Yeah,
throwing beer
well,
bottles. You know.
somebody did throw
Someone did. Oh.
a pizza cutter,
Oh
but
shit. No.
but
Oh shit. I didn't know that.
um
Yeah, but there's beer
it
bottles.
is
It's not
what
that
it
they're
is. It
yeah.
was a cool moment.
Yeah.
It's a cool moment. Was it dangerous? A little bit. Was
Yeah.
it
It's a
good for
death match.
GCW? It was great for GCW. It was
Yeah.
great. A lot of people were mad he won the title. I think it was dope. I
Me too,
think
man.
this does a lot for Cardona. I think this does a lot for Nick Gage. I think this does a lot for GCW.
Yeah.
And now who knows what happens tonight? How's Jericho gonna beat Nick Gage? Is he gonna cleanly beat him?
I don't know.
Does
Because if you
Cardona
watch Nick
come
Gage,
in
he's
and
not
mess
taking
with
it
him?
easy. Yeah, if you watch Nick Gage, he's not taking it easy on him. That's the
No,
thing.
yeah. But that's
He's
what I'm
not gonna
saying.
take it easy.
Do we get a run in from
I don't know.
Cardona
I
to
thinking
build up Gage and Cardona, but also because
no.
Cardona and Cody are boys.
I mean, yeah, true, but like I think it's gonna. But if they're gonna plan in a run, I think it's gonna be something related to the Jericho and MJF feud, not the Nick Gage. Because if this is only a one-time thing for Nick Gage, might as well not do it.
But who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows
maybe. Who
what this
knows?
is for Nick Gage?
Who
Is
knows?
this a one off?
Yeah,
Is he gonna be in the company? Is this just a thing because he has hype around him that they're like, let's do something? But also, is it, hey, we're friends with this indie company, let's help them get some buzz. So let's
yeah,
get their guy and let's get their champion. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So who knows what could happen? But I think Cage has built up so much that Jericho to beat him cleanly um would be kind of trash. It has to be a run in to me.
yeah.
Has to be something.
But
And the only thing,
there was a interference last week too. So I don't know if like they
well,
were
that's the
back
whole
to
thing
back.
with, yeah, that's the whole thing with them being a heel stable. They can do things like that.
They're baby face. I mean, like they're baby faces though. So I don't think they would
Wait, who?
inner circle.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Sammy,
about Pinnacle.
no. Sammy Guevara interfered last
Yeah,
week,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think they would have another interference, even though it's not an inner circle member, but like it's still, you know, inner
But it
circle.
makes more sense because it's not inner circle member. So you could really not put it on Jericho. You can't
Yeah,
really say, oh, it's Jericho's fault. This guy
yeah,
just don't like Nick Gage.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's just that simple.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. You never know,
You
man.
never know.
Wrestling, people
Unpredictable.
be showing up on different shows. Cardona signed to Impact. You know what I mean? Like there's a
Yeah,
lot. You never know
you never
what could
know.
happen.
Exactly.
That's the one thing I've been saying since December. You never know who's gonna show up.
You never know exactly. That's the fun part about it.
That oh,
That's
it's
literally the
great
hype. Yeah.
because it's so you could do this. Oh my god, who shows up tonight? Is Cardona? Does Nick Gage just win cleanly? Does he kill Jericho
what's
live on
MJF?
TV?
What's MJF? Oh God, no. I
Like,
don't want to think about that.
like
Um,
what happened?
yeah, what exactly? What's gonna happen? I wonder what exactly. Like I said, Nick Gage is not gonna take this lightly for Jericho. It's not
No,
gonna go easy for him. So it's
no.
definitely
This
gonna
is
be
kind of a match that kind of never happened, and you
yeah,
didn't know you wanted to see it till it was
exactly,
announced,
exactly.
and then you were like, you know what? Yeah,
I want to see this. I want to see if it's
let's
gonna happen.
watch this. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So we got to see on that. We did end it on a positive note.
Yeah.
Great ending to that.
Shout out to Cardona.
Shout out to Cardone, new GCW champion.
Yo,
I'm excited to see that.
he might have the Drew Galloway run.
Man, that's what I was thinking too. I
Remember
knew
what we
somebody
thought?
was gonna. Yeah,
Drew
somebody's gonna.
Galloway is gonna come full circle and slide
Yeah,
back. But I don't know.
I
Cardona
don't know.
might not go back.
I don't think so.
He's killing it right now in the Indies. He's doing his podcast thing.
Yeah,
Does he really need them?
maybe not.
And he already said he lived out his dream. He won the IC title at Mania.
Yeah.
This might have been the best thing for him.
Yeah, I think he might. I think he's done with it. WWE.
Yeah, and he looks like he's having fun. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
And he's building up his name. People, who would have thought when
Matt Cardona out of everybody?
When everybody got released, who you thought was gonna make the biggest splash? If you would have told me Ryder, I would have said you're wild.
Nope.
You're wild.
Yeah, exactly. He's killing it.
What was it, a decade ago that him, Punk, and Bryan were champions? And
yeah.
Now, this week they're the biggest news in wrestling.
Exactly.
Just comes full circle.
I know, right?
And nothing has to do with WWE, which is wild.
I know. It's like, not even WWE anymore.
Yeah.
It's all crazy. I'm gonna be thinking about that all day now because
I'm telling you, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Anything could happen now.
Exactly. So I guess we could wrap it up right there. Episode 45 of the Ring Fanatics Podcast. Nick here. Joel, as always, go subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on social. Actually, before we go, comment your thoughts on the whole CM Punk Daniel Bryan thing first. Comment your thoughts about that. How hyped are you for these signings when it happens? Once again, episode 45 of the Ring Fanatics, and we'll see you guys next time.
Catch you.